Stand by. Prepare audience for maximum full immersion begins. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good day, everybody. How are you? Morning Talks with Ro is right around the corner. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Who's ready for Morning Talks with Ro? Good morning, everybody. How are you? Happy Monday. Are you ready? Morning Talks with Ro is right around
drop
the
in
corner.
and leave you with something tangible to work with and practice, because some of the things you're going to hear right on a regular basis, but if you're not practicing it, it doesn't make it real. It doesn't settle in as wisdom, right? It doesn't serve you the way that it could serve you if you use the tools. You got to work this stuff. It's one thing to talk about it, right? It's one thing to be lip service. It's another thing to actually implement this into your life.
Where you at? Hey! Y'all ready to level up with Morning Talks with Ro? Here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
When soul singer and black activist Sam Cooke wrote the lyrics to his song, "A Change Is Gonna Come," it was very direct and to the point. With some changes to it, the song was still digestible. In the year 2019, black folks continue to go through the change rather than direct the change. A community activist named Taalik Ibn'rad has made an appeal similar to what Sam Cooke was asking for. A change. It's said that the meek shall inherit the earth. We ask when. When will the landlords give the meek a free lease? Mr. Ibn'rad is humbly asking for the state of Mississippi. President Trump has already had sit-downs with the wrong representatives of the black community. How about a real discussion with a true grassroots African American? Join and organize Operation Exodus Mississippi today, or become a supporter.
You guys have any questions before we move on? Anything you want to chat about? No, we good? Yes, sir?
Do you think that reparations should just go to one group, or should it target people that are in the same kind of socioeconomic group? Because
that's an interesting question. What do you mean by that?
Well, there are white people that have been disenfranchised recently.
Recently is the key. Recently is the key.
The country deindustrialized, right? So a lot of people in manufacturing jobs and stuff.
Right. But so to your question, I think you have to understand what the word reparations means first. So reparations, you are repairing something that you have broken. You are paying for something that you were supposed to pay for. I'm not saying that there aren't people living in America today who are suffering and are going through pain and strife because of what's happening when it comes to machines taking jobs, factories becoming industrialized, etc. But reparations is a specific conversation about a specific time in America, and that is black people were slaves. You know what I mean? I've even heard people say like, oh, but there were some of the Irish who were indentured. Like, yeah, slavery. Look at the numbers, look at the time, look at the level of work. You could not work toward your freedom. For most black people in America, this was a time when you lived and died as a slave. And so that's what reparations is about. And so I hear what you're saying, but I think that's a completely separate conversation that needs to be had about the now. Because if you are not careful, what you then do is you combine everybody's suffering into the same bowl, and you make it seem like all injustices have the same weighting, and they don't. Just like crimes, you know, theft isn't the same as murder. We don't try them the same way. And as much as there is a white person who's suffering today, I feel for anybody who's suffering, because I know what it's like to be poor. I know what it's like to suffer. I didn't come from a wealthy family. We struggled when I was growing up, but I also understand that there are levels of that suffering. You know, and so sometimes white people, it does block a white person, because you go, white privilege, and a person goes, I'm poor and I'm white, where's the privilege? You know, white people are like, I wish I could activate my white privilege. I wish I could do it right now. White privilege, give me something. I get that. I get that. Trust me, I get it. It is hard to accept that you have benefits because of the color of your skin if you cannot see the benefits that you have. But the thing I try to explain to a person is, think of it more like golf. Don't think of it as privilege, then think of it like a handicap. Right? In golf, they acknowledge that you are in a position where you need so many advantages to be competitive in the game. Right? So what they say is you have a handicap of 15, so that means like you're going to be hitting from this tee and you get more chances to get the ball in, because we understand the position you're in. And if you're a black person in America, from slavery, from day one, the number of injustices that have held black people back in America amount to an insurmountable, like you look at black people's freedom, you look at black people's land, just land alone. The amount of wealth you can acquire over time if you own land is exponential, because you have the land, you have the fact that you can borrow based on the land, you have the fact that you can use the money that you have borrowed to grow more wealth, you can use it to grow your family's wealth. Just taking that away from black people alone is crippling them. And so you combine that with slavery, and then you look at Jim Crow laws. You didn't let black people in America live in the areas that they wanted to live in. They couldn't get loans from the banks that they wanted to get loans from. And then on top of that, when they started getting the loans from American banks were found to be giving them higher interest rates, when in fact they were the same risk as many of the other races that they were giving loans to. So when you combine all of those things, I think it's safe to say that black Americans have a conversation that they need to be having with the United States. Doesn't involve me, doesn't involve white people, it's like, yo, American government, meet the black people. That's it. Have that conversation.
The topic that I've chosen is really an imaginary one, a fictional one. It's not really real, because it's going on 500 years. And in this nation, these racist pink people who control and rule over this nation, is going on 500 years, not 50 years, not 100, not 200. Actually going on 500 years. How many years since the Lincoln administration? The President Abraham Lincoln suggested before his assassination that the newly freed people, in order to give them a start in life, and at that time the United States was still, a lot of it was still an agricultural type lifestyle that they were living. So in order to get these new free people, help give them a lift and get back into society, the Lincoln administration suggested that they be given 40 acres and a mule. However, after the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, and I believe it was the administration of Ulysses S. Grant, I believe that's his name. I don't keep it with these people now. I could care less. But the administration, those who took over leadership after the death of Abraham Lincoln, they said, them nigger. Basically, that's what they said. We don't give a damn about them. And they took that off the table and gave us nothing. But you want to know, but see, the thing about it is, these free people had so much tenacity. They had so much pride, and they still had this work ethic. But now, instead of working for a massa, now I work for me. They still work so hard, they still out-progress the races. Thus, the Ku Klux Klan, thus the black codes, thus Jim Crow segregation. Thus, there was a need to take action so these dark-skinned people who just came out of chains, they cannot progress. This was done on purpose. This was not done to the Chinese. This was not done to the Irish. This was not done to the Africans. This was done to these who are the descendants of slaves born in America having dark skin. So evil. That's such an evil and wicked thing. And you have those people running around here trying to justify and act like they just ignore what has happened to us. These are some nasty, and y'all want to keep living with people with this mentality. That's on you. You go ahead and do that. Myself, this ministry advocates separation. Not segregation, but separation. Period. We don't need to be around pink people at all. 500 years is enough. This relationship needs to stop. It needs to be over with. Now, to help do that, like I said, go back to, it's imaginary because you're dealing with people who are not just. They're wicked. They're nasty. Well, you've been living with them for going on 500 years. You know what kind of people you're dealing with. But let's just say, for instance, if for some reason, and I did put out a message to the president-elect, Donald Trump, and in the solution process, we should be given what is called reparations. But you should not give reparations to an idiotic, childlike, silly people. First of all, many of y'all Negroes, you claim you don't want reparations. So I would take your share. Okay? But the bottom line is, the current mentality and mindset of the so-called Negro in America, the descendants of slaves, born in America, having dark skin, who used to call themselves the people of soul, they don't have the right mindset to handle reparations. They don't have the right mindset to handle separation. But should reparations be put on the table, then those reparations need to go only to those who are willing to separate, leave this country once and for all. Because this is the reason why. Reparations is given to a person or a people to heal an injury, to heal something that another country or a nation done to another people or a nation. Reparations or to repair damage. You cannot give reparations to these people in this country, black Americans, because they would not use it to repair and heal themselves. They are not in the right state of mind at all. The first thing they would do, just like when they win the lottery, buy Cadillacs, Mercedes Benzes, big old houses they don't need, and all kinds of foolishness. You see this with the wealth that they currently get. There have been many dark-skinned people who have lots and lots of money. You see, they do not use their wealth to try to repair the injury that was done to us as a group of people. They do nothing. They attempt to try to live the lifestyle of the races. So you see Beyonce and Jay-Z and Jada and Will and Oprah and some of our business people, they are trying to live like they're massa. That is not the purpose of reparations, because this shows you a mentality that is still injured. They have money, but their mind is injured. They have not healed. They are victims and are a wounded persons. So reparations need to go to those whose mind have been healed, who are willing to separate from this nation. So when you give them their reparations, they are going to a place where even if they wanted to, they cannot buy a Cadillac, a Mercedes Benz, these houses and all this other frivolous, lavish garbage that excites you because you are a slave, that excites you because you've grown up in a materialistic society, when you should be comfortable only with having clothes on your back, food in your belly, and a roof over your head. Simple as that. You don't need all this other stuff. But in this society, and coming from a slave background, we looking at our massa. Look how massa lived. But massa was wrong. Massa living because he and she is taking advantage of the labor of other people. If you actually do the labor, if you actually have to do the work, we'll see how lavish and wonderful that you live. You got to cut the grass. You want a big house, but you got to cut the grass. You got to dust it. You got to do all like that. We're going to see how big you want your house. Yeah, you'll have a big house, but it'll be big and nasty. The grass won't be cut properly. Dishes always in the sink, you know. Now, during the process of reparations, like any shopper, you're looking for the big, the best deal when you're trying to build a house or make a project. So some of this money will go back to, those who gave you the reparation. If they offer a service or a product that you can use, and we need a deal here. We're building a nation. Even if you was building a house, everybody's looking for a bargain. But overall, reparations, all that it stays among you. It is not going to go into our community 2 or 3 times and leave like it's doing right now. And like I say, those who want to stay among the wicked, they can do that. Those who wish to be righteous, those who wish to seek a brand new reality for themselves and their prosperity, then they can separate from these devils. Not only be proud of your skin color, but have a brilliant and work on yourself so that you can have a good work ethic and content of character so that you can get along with your brothers and sisters and build a new reality. This is the reason why your enemies will not give you reparations, because you will become something they want to be. You understand? Not necessarily having money and wealth and all this. They don't have content of character. They don't have honesty. They are not righteous. But to watch you come up out of this filth and get clean and come out of your house shining and beautiful. Woo!
Greetings. I'm Tangelica Cox. I had the pleasure of speaking with Taalik, Ibn'rad, and he has a movement / ministry by the name of the Reality Temple on Earth. And I had the pleasure of speaking with him for several hours today. And I think it's only fair that I do a reaction video to the conversation. And the conversation was on various topics, which was basically centered around African quote unquote consciousness. And he was a real deep brother, very down to earth, very approachable. He didn't carry himself like a know-it-all. Someone you could talk to and really listen to you. It was such an honor to finally meet somebody over the internet that has a ear to listen, and not only an ear to listen, but will take full action on what they stand for. And I appreciated having that conversation with you, and I do look forward to working with you.
Hi, my name is Deborah Kennedy. I live in Texas, and I listened to Taalik's video regarding failure of prayer and God's so-called promises. Things. I was just delighted. I thought it was just very insightful, and I commend you all for putting something out there like that. That we lean too much on what we're told somebody else is looking out for us. And we have philosophies or teachings like that, and we're supposed to be developing that in ourselves. And I appreciate Taalik's his powerful delivery. You don't need to call if you're busy, but I just want to pass that along. I was very impressed. Thank you so much. You take care now. Peace and love.
We want to talk about reparations. I want to make something perfectly clear. Out of all the people on the planet, I, of course, support reparations. In fact, even in my own personal struggle, because I was done unjustly and 10 years of my life was taken for no reason. This is an idiot. That person right there, that's an idiot. Could have actually, that person actually could have got smashed. These people don't care nothing about life. She in a hurry to get to her slave plantation. That's a white woman. And she's in a hurry to get to her slave plantation. She's willing to risk her life getting smashed by an 80,000-pound vehicle. She's in a hurry to try to get to the slave plantation. I wonder about people in general. It seems as though they have a death wish. They do dumb things, and there's a high probability that it can cause them death, and they don't care. You lost that instinct to protect your life. Who in their right mind would want to play with something 10 times bigger than you? That's just like if you want to go out into the forest and you actually going to pick a fight with a grizzly bear. That's the most dumbest thing in the world. Nobody in their right mind, unless they have a shotgun, would want to try to pick a fight with a grizzly bear. So you got this woman in this little baby car sitting next to me, willing to gamble. She's making a move where she could actually get crushed, and she don't care. We have a death wish. But I'm not surprised because I understand that I'm surrounded by death. That's all this life that we're living in is about death. We drink poison water, poison liquids, alcohol. We purposely drink alcohol, poison. We breathe poison air, poison food with pesticides and other things that can give us cancers and other illnesses. You step on the wrong person's shoe and they'll blow your brains out. You don't know how long you're going to live. Life in our current state is a gamble. And speaking of gambling, brings me back to the topic. It's a gamble. Matter of fact, you already lost when you talk about reparations. I support reparations. I support anybody that's doing anything in regard to reparations for the 40 to 70 million descendants of slaves born in America having African or Aboriginal ancestry. Anybody. That includes Yvette Carnell or whoever. There are those who have been working on reparations way long before Yvette Carnell. I applaud your efforts. There is a bill. Hey, what's up, Don, at reparations? However, for me, I have to look at this thing from a realistic point of view. I cannot a feel good state of mind. I cannot do that. And because I look at things from a realistic point of view, I upset folks. Well, I'm sorry. You have to get upset. That sounds like a personal problem. Because you're going to have to deal with reality when it's all said and done. You're going to have to deal with reality anyway. That sounds like a personal problem. And the reality of things is reality don't care whether you like it or not. Some of you don't believe that you're going to die. I mean, some of you believe that you're going to physically die. You can't avoid that. You wish you could. But see, you're going to physically die, but you're going to keep living because the only thing you're going to do is transition from this physical body into some unknown whatever. That's what you want to believe. That's your business. I choose just to accept things for what I know and the reality of things. I did not know nothing about this life before I got here, and I don't care nothing about knowing about this life after I leave here. Makes me no difference. I can accept things just the way they are. If there's a life after death, I will deal with that when I get there, just like I had to deal with life when I came here. Yeah, Don. You know, some of these people, they're going to turn into a ball of gas and float in the universe forever, wherever, whatever. You know, some kind of ball of energy. I don't know. If that what makes you feel good, if that will float your boat, so be it. Let's talk about this reparation thing. There's also, I heard that there's a bill called HR 40 that's been in the House of Representatives for the last 30-some years. So reparations is nothing new. And your government has entertained reparations for at least 30 years, according to HR 40, right? Okay. 30 years. Have you gotten any reparations? Has that bill gone anywhere? I would think that the answer would be no. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. Also, brothers and sisters, I want to let you know that everybody that is talking about reparations is not talking from a point of view where they actually have concern for us as a people. Now look at the word. Look at the word reparations. Another way of looking at the word reparations is exactly what it is supposed to be. Reparations, or repair a nation. It's for the repair of a people, the repair of a nation. Reparations is not for you to think that you won the damn lottery and go out and buy houses and cars for your own self enrichment. That's not what reparations is supposed to be about. And I know that some of you say, well, I deserve reparations. We deserve reparations. Let's talk about that, what you deserve. I tell you what you really deserve. You deserve to continue to get your ass whooped. That's what you really deserve. And the people that you begging for reparations, that's exactly what they're going to give your happy ass, a good ass whooping. How dare you come to me? How dare you come to me talk about some reparations? That's what you're going to get, a good ass whooping. That's what you're going to get. What you deserve. There's a lot of things that you deserve. That don't mean that you're going to get it. There are millions of criminals in the criminal justice system. There are millions of victims. If there are millions of criminals in the criminal justice system, that means you have millions of victims. All the victims deserve compensation for whatever that criminal done to them. I would say in less than 1%. I would say in less than 1%. I would say in less than 1% of these cases, the victims are compensated. You know why? Because criminals do not compensate their victims. They don't give a damn about you. Now, you have somebody like Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby is rich, so they will go after his estate. But in most cases, these criminals don't have nothing like that. And you know, actually, even when you're in prison, they have these programs where you can make money or whatever. They're not going to, they're damn dime. Action. It was a crime against humanity. Matter of fact, let me tell you something. As far as I'm concerned, look, as far as I'm concerned, I don't want their damn reparations. I would rather the country destroy. I would rather the country pay for what it actually did. That's what I would rather be done. The country destroyed. The country divided, give the Mexicans a share, give the black folks a share, give the Chinese a share, pull the country apart. That's what I would rather see. Nation. That's what it deserved for what it did. a crime against humanity. The reality is, myself and my lady friend, we was talking about this. The reality is, this country, even if it wanted to, this country cannot pay nobody no reparations. This nation is broke. This nation is at least $20 trillion in debt. In order for each of us, the 40 to 70 million dark-skinned people in this country, in order for us just to get $1 million, you're talking about at least $30 trillion. They don't have that kind of money. HR 40 has been on the House floor for 30 years. That tell you they don't want saying deserve. No, you don't deserve. Technical difficulties as usual, y'all. Let me tell you something. If we were dealing with the people, that deserve this and we deserve that, they will automatically, out of the kindness of their heart, say, look, we caused these people harm. Let's heal them. You don't have to beg. You don't have to talk about you deserve anything. You're dealing with people that have no integrity. You're dealing with people that have no character. Why you want to keep begging them? Because that's what it is. And so they don't have no respect for you. They have no respect for a beggar. Yes. You have a lot of these folks that want reparations. And I heard this in personal conversations. The only thing on their mind is feeling rich, instant riches. They don't give a damn about us as a people. One brother was telling me, talk about, yeah, give me my reparations money so I can move to Africa. So he can exploit those African women and get a bunch of wives and live a good life. That's what's on his mind with reparations. Ain't nothing wrong with polygamy. That's what he want to do with his money. Cars. Ass don't want to work. You don't want to do a damn thing. Just because you don't have to work for white folks, work for your damn self, building your nation, because that's what reparations is supposed to be about. Repair of a nation. It's not for your personal use. That's what it's about. Now, this is the thing. You find some kind of joy. See, reparations is just more of that feel-good, religious-like rhetoric. That's what it is. Give the Negroes reparations, and reparations is supposed to solve all your problems. What do those rappers say? More money, more problems. That's all it's gonna be. More money, more problems. Because you don't know what to do with the little money that you're getting. So what you gonna do with reparations except the same old crap that you've been doing? At least if you're gonna beg for reparations, show what you're doing with the money that you got right now. We see what you're doing with the money that you got right now. So that means you are irresponsible. Who in the hell, if they're really looking out for your best interest and really want you to heal yourself, who would give a bunch of people that's irresponsible that kind of money For what? So you can make your situation even worse. So you can buy more dope. So you can act more foolish. That's all. You are not responsible people. Yeah. Floyd Mayweather, whatever his name is, he's a perfect example. Perfect example. You are a slave with money. That's all. Your mind needs to be fixed. Your whole attitude needs to be fixed. The reality that you sitting here begging your massa for reparations and think that your massa, all of a sudden, your massa gonna turn good, shows that you're not in your right state of mind. But it's that fantasy world. You want instant riches. Some of y'all want to die and go to heaven. That's gonna be, that's the perfect world. The mothership is gonna come out the sky and save you. Y'all live in fantasy world, delusions. More money, more problems. When people have money, all kinds of folks come out the woodworks because they want to get your money. That means you're going to be more, people want to scam you more. People are going to want to exploit you more. And you acting like a damn slave. What are you going to do to repair the nation? What are you going to do to repair the people? In order to repair the people, you must repair yourself as an individual. And the only thing you want to do with reparations is go and lie on the beach of Jamaica so you can brag to the Jamaicans, I got reparations, and exploit the people of Jamaica. That's your attitude. That's how you think. You ain't gonna get a damn dime. You're not gonna get nothing. Begging your massa. Y'all ain't learned nothing yet. All these people supposed to be smart. College degrees. I got the supreme wisdom. And you still nothing but a begging slave. If you were smart. When I was in the Nation of Islam, on the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, they always talk about asking the government for 3 or 4 states or something like that. They know damn well these Peckerwoods ain't gonna give you nothing. They wish you would just go ahead and disappear. They're not interested in your happy ass. You just like dust. They wish they could just wipe you away. Go away. You like dust. Every time they wipe your ass up, you come back. Nobody gives a damn about dust. Dust is unwanted. But see, if you were smart, you claim that you free, but you don't act like a free people. You act like slaves and you think like slaves. There's no way you will ever hear me begging massa for reparations. If you free, then why don't you act like a free person? The so-called Negro, the descendants of slaves born in America, having African or Aboriginal ancestry, is 40 to 70 million of us. I am told that if we were separated from this country, we would be the 10th richest nation on the planet. We have everything we need. We don't need no damn reparation. That's not to say you don't deserve it, but you don't need it. It's just the principle of the thing. It's just the principle. I still want it. But these damn people not going to give it to you. So why don't you be smart enough to take it? Take it. Instead of on your knees begging. HR 40, you begging these devils for something that you can take. Now look, since Since we get so much money out of this economy, look, you educated, you got money out of this economy. Why don't you take it? You can vote. You got all these tools that you can use. Why don't you take it? Why don't you just take what you want? That's what the Mississippi campaign is about. The Mississippi campaign is not about begging these suckers for nothing. Put yourself in a position and take it using the laws, using the tools that they give you. Just take it. They cannot stop you from taking control of the state of Mississippi. And once you take control of the state of Mississippi, and maybe you can graduate and take Alabama, then you can go to the government as a state, as Alabama and Mississippi, as a power. See, these bastards don't respect nothing. If you don't have any power, they don't give a damn about what you're talking about. Yvette Carnell and all these people talking about reparations, they don't have no power. They don't have no influence. Nobody gives a damn about what they're talking about. These people only respect something that is that's strong enough to cause them some kind of harm. When I was locked up, and I'm going to end this on this note. When I was locked up, they told me outright. They said, so what? So what if we wrong? So what if everything that you say is right? So what? What you gonna do about it? They had no respect for me because I had no power. They came when I learned their law, and I learned how to use their law very, very, very well. That's when they began to respect me, because I was putting a ass whooping on them in the courthouse. I was suing everybody. I sued the housekeeping. I sued security. I sued the damn doctors, of course. I sued everybody. I was filing restraining orders. I was doing everything I could using their law. That's when things started changing for me. You have to, these people, as long as you run in your mouth, they don't care nothing about that. But believe me, when the sheriff comes to their door and gives them a subpoena, they respect that. They respect a subpoena. So basically what I'm saying, really you should feel some kind of shame. You should feel some kind of shame begging these suckers. They are not interested. And I just watched the brother's video again, the mad head doctor. You just don't. It's just not easy to give reparations like that. It's a process. It's a process that you have to go through in order for this government to begin to give, even just to talk about reparations. It's a process. And the bottom line is, if you think once these Caucasian people, Sam, Cindy, Dave, Jared, these Caucasian people, once they hear about this, you think they're going to support reparations for your Negro self? These citizens, these Caucasian citizens, and the Mexicans and all these other folks are not going to support no damn reparation. Matter of fact, the reality is you got a lot of black folks not going to support reparations. You got black folks, soul brothers and sisters, that's not going to support reparations. So you got a hellified battle, especially when you begging. But if you was doing this and you had the power of a state backing you up, it'll be a whole different ball game. But you have nothing except the clothes on your back, and those clothes on your back came from the peck of wood. So you might as well sit your happy ass down and keep doing whatever the hell that you was doing. You are not going to be alive. If these devils ever gave our people reparations, all of us would be dead and gone. No doubt. Ain't nothing happening. So we need to get out of la la land. But see, living in fantasy is much easier. That's why y'all like to dream about stuff. That's why you like to dream about stuff, fantasize about things, get high, get drunk, anything except to deal with reality. You know, talk about you a god and a king and a queen, don't have a pot to piss in. And you keep doing that. But I'm not going to sit around and let you have a comfortable dream. I'm going to keep shaking you. Wake up, wake up. I'm not talking about this woke stuff. I'm not talking about being conscious. I'm talking about wake your ass up, get out of bed, and let's for real go to work before it's too damn late. That's what I'm about. So, on that note, thank you, Don. Thank you, Scott, for being here with me, and all those in the chat room, those who are watching, my Facebook. We got to keep it real. If you don't want to keep it real, don't come here. It's best that you stay away, because I'm going to break your peace. I got to wake you up. I got to shake you, because this is a life and death situation for yourself and for our future generations. Our future generations might not have a future. If we keep doing what we're doing, our future generations have no future. Take it or let it alone. Let me go ahead on down, take care of business here. And if there's a next time, we'll see each other. So I'm Audie 5000. And as Don Cornelius always say, as important, I wish us love, peace. It was a pleasure for me too, Don. I wish us love, peace, and soul.
Operation Exodus, Mississippi. What is OEM? It is the only real solution for descendants of slaves born in America. The original Mississippi campaign. Anything else is fraud and will not work. It is the process of bringing into reality the promised land that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. spoke of. It is simply inspiring the so-called black residents of the state to take advantage of their voting power, having a large population to take control of the political systems, laws of their state to benefit themselves, of which brings them power. Power they never had before. OEM has nothing to do with religious, personal, or political beliefs. Just wanting to make life less oppressive in this geographical area so blacks can feel safe and operate with less resistance due to racism, forming a type of safe haven sanctuary state for black people. OEM doesn't advocate trying to force the populace to do anything they don't wish to do, but offer advice and suggestions to improve their state for all citizens, regardless of race, creed, color, sexual orientation, etc. Some of the benefits of OEM could be: 1. As a state, you could finally request reparations due to the enslavement of our ancestors from the federal government. Being such, monetary or other awards will not be going to individuals or groups, but a state now in control that benefits this people to help build what this people need to act like true, free, liberated, as well as equal citizens of this nation. 2. Having control of the governor's mansion, you can control the state National Guard as well as all law enforcement of the state. 3. Create a different way of living among the people to alleviate homelessness and other poverty. requesting the citizens more modestly, opening up more jobs, more time with loved ones. 4, offer true rehabilitation to those in criminal systems so monies on jails can go to more beneficial purposes. 5, state can request the federal government to release all political prisoners in federal custody or those forced into asylum in foreign lands to be returned to or handed to Mississippi so they can live out the rest of their lives in dignity. 6, Mississippi will become a true work state where every man, woman, and child can say they had something to do with the success of their state instead of credit going to a select few. 7, being an agriculture state already, we can specialize in the production of pure organic foods that is good for our citizens, also can be exported to other states and around the world, having a want for cheaper organically grown food products. 8, success of OEM will become the blueprint and example, having not enough room for all who now wish to move. So our eyes must be set upon perhaps Alabama, Georgia, and the like. 9, a state can function independently from the federal government, forming relations and deals in foreign lands like Africa to benefit the state and nation. The so-called black people of America have never had true power that others respect. But by doing this, we will get the respect and power we have never experienced, and the doors that will open due to just taking control of your life, we can't imagine. Please be reminded, if not for the domestic terrorism targeting black people of the South and the federal government refusing to protect its citizens, forcing them to flee, this OEM campaign probably would have been made a reality generations ago. So all you and I will be doing is the work our ancestors wanted to do, but couldn't do due to domestic violence from other citizens. Join and organize Operation Exodus Mississippi today, or become a supporter.
That's why I created